Okay, new video here. I am mounting some solar panels onto my hood. So previously, this van had one solar panel in a very budget solar setup. I made a video about it. Nobody watched, but I did make a video. And I've since determined that that solar panel was useless to me because it was too big and did not fit in my van, and I literally never used it. So to make it more usable, I needed a smaller panels, essentially, that are more packable and more operator friendly. I should say, I cannot put a solar panel on my roof because I like to have a canoe on my roof, which eliminates the room for a solar panel. So that leads me to a more portable option, which is going to be these two solar panels. I'm going to mount them on the hood, but also I have a long cable, which you will see more of later, that I can basically lay them out. So if I'm parked in the shade, I can lay them on extension cord out in a field to get sun that way. So that's what I'm going to do. First things first, I will show you these panels in greater detail. So this is the Voltset VSC30, 12 volt, 30 watt solar battery charger, portable, flexible solar panel, charger and maintainer. The way it says battery charger makes me skeptical about how powerful these are. So I bought two. Also, I should note that ultimately a solar panel is just a battery charger. That is what I'm using it for, but that's besides the point. Anyways, if you open these up, no, I should say I bought these on Amazon for, they were $100, like $99.99, but I also had a $15 coupon for some reason. So I bought both of them with $15 off coupons, 15% off, whatever. So they were like $85 each plus tax. Anyways, if you come in here, we got some sort of information. There's also different ones. I got the 30. Thank you. You're welcome. And then we got suction cups, which I'm not going to use. I do not think. Some carabiners. Take this foam out. And we got the panel here. We got multiple different connections. This is a cigarette lighter to, I believe this is called an SAE connector. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, this, I guess you can charge your battery through your cigarette lighter, which is cool, but I've never done that, nor is that what I plan on doing. I have SAE to loops, and then I got the SAE connector to clips to charge a battery that way. And then on the back of this panel, it has this little hub, and then it has a length of wire with an SAE connector. And then if I pull this out, first of all, you can see how thin this is and flexible. And this is the panel. So if we go back out to the van, my first thought was that was my first thought. I actually think this is kind of neat to mount it right in the middle of my hood as a permanent option. But first of all, I do not know if these solar panels are built to last, nor if they should be out full time in the rain, because it rains a lot here. And also, I do not want to like drill holes into my hood, so I moved against that. But basically what I'm going to do is take this one, move it over the side, and we're going to grab the other one. So we're basically going to do that. So I need to fashion some sort of mounts to this, because this because of this hub, does not sit flat. And I ordered these magnets to do this on the front. But because of this, it would never sit flat like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go build some little mounts, feet for the back. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so to make my feet, what I have going here is I got this piece of wood that is, I think that's 1 inch thick. And then I got these magnets here. I have this big stack of magnets because I bought them to attach my window shades. Anyways, I'm gonna basically make feet, 4 feet for the back of those solar panels. And I'm gonna attach 3 magnets. These stick together. But I'm basically gonna take this drill bit and drill some holes to make these sit basically as flush as possible with the surface, and then I'm going to attach them with epoxy. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead, drill down, try to make it as flat as possible, and then glue in those magnets, spray paint those up, and then I have feet for the back of it. That's the plan. Pretty simple. Let's go.
So this is all pretty straightforward. I first marked out my 4 feet. Then I traced out the general shape of the magnets onto my board. At this point, it starts to get a little ghetto. I basically milled out the center with my cordless drill. I'm positive there's countless other better tools for this job, maybe starting with a chisel, but unfortunately the only one I had is incredibly blunt. So going ham with the drill seemed like the obvious choice.
Okay, so I broke this piece and this piece off. So I went with the wood glue, Gorilla Glue, and I got a little crazy and I put it all in there. So I'm going to toss the magnets in with the Gorilla Glue, and then my thought is to epoxy around it. So I put that together, glue in the magnets, let it sit, dry up, cut those apart. That's the plan. Okay, the glue has dried on my board. It is now magnetic. Maybe not as magnetic as I hoped. Maybe I should have doubled the magnets. But anyways, if you look here, that's all Gorilla Glue. I now have this Gorilla epoxy that I'm going to whip up, and then I'm going to pour it on top and just cover this whole thing in epoxy. And I will note that I'm going to fully kit up for this epoxy. I got rubber gloves too and a mask. Because last time I used epoxy, I got it all over my hands. And then I also like swelled up in my face. And I had like this reaction to it. So I'm going to fully kit up to do this. But yeah, it should be pretty simple. Okay, I'm getting a little fogged up. We're just going to pour this on and let it sit. Okay, they are fully epoxied in. Magnets are in there real solid, but obviously that's not flat. So I'm going to take my sander here and sand this down. Sand it down with whatever grit this is and some 180 grit. Sand it, chop it up, and then I'm going to paint.
So I should note that sanding this epoxy didn't go as smoothly as I expected it to go. It was really slow going, and if I was redoing this, I probably would have been more conservative with the amount of epoxy I used to start. But as always, I did persevere.
Okay, so these are the feet. They are magnetic on this side. They're not the best looking, but also they are totally fine. Again, magnetic. And these are the feet for the front. I picked these up on Amazon. And basically I'm going to attach these to the front and these to the back. I got some hardware here. I got some random screws here. Pretty simple. I'm going to put a magnet on each corner and then go from there. Okay, panels are put together. We got these on the front, these on the back. I broke that one, and this one I salvaged it with Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Wood Glue. So I'm going to take these to the front of my van. Throw that on there. That out of the way. That's that. This one. So I think that looks pretty sweet. They're relatively sturdy. The bottom, way more than the top. But I think that is going to be fine. I do not envision having them up during like crazy windstorms. I do not plan on driving with them on. So I think that should be fine. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these cords, unwind them, and then I have an adapter. I guess I'll grab my adapter. Come over here. I got this Y, which is basically two SAE connectors into one. And then I got this long cord. So we're going to plug both of those into one long cord. And then we're going to go, I shall show you, in the back of my van here. That port under the switch, we'll get fully to it later, that is where it plugs in. And then we're going to make sure that it is charging. And yeah, that'll be the solar setup. Okay, we're going to take our cable and we're going to plug it into there. But first, let me go out here. I got my battery in here. And if you look up here, that is my solar charging unit. It is the cheapest, it was the cheapest Sarge, what am I talking about? It is the cheapest solar controller that I could buy on Amazon. And it's rated up to 7 amps, so I should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. And we are gonna see if it's charging. We go up in here, it is not charging. I believe there's an LED light on there that will light up when it is charging. So that means my panels are either in the shade or they don't work, or my polarity is reversed. So I think we're gonna move those panels off the hood into the yard for some sun. Okay, so what I have discovered, I believe my polarity is reversed. So basically, if you take this end and measure it with a voltmeter, we got -20 degrees. So if I flip that around, we got 20.6 degrees. So this one is the hot one. But if I go over here where I plug into, if we go over here, the bottom one is the one that is hot, as per these wires. So this one, the covered one, needs to be the positive in here. So I have to switch these wires. So I'm gonna pull out my solar charger and replace or flip those wires around and then make sure it works. So hopefully I didn't wreck it plugging it upside down to start. So it turns out I glued it on. Okay, so basically I have cut these wires and I got barrettes on there now just so they don't touch anything, because I'm gonna plug that in. And then I got these lines headed to my solar panel. There's the positive there. My solar controller, sorry. So I'm going to plug this in. And we're gonna test at these barrettes. 130 volts. 20 volts. There we go. So 20 volts. And then if I were to reverse this, we got the negative. So we're at negative 20 volts. So this one, for sure, is the positive. So the black one, we're gonna take our barrette off and take this power, this red one. And it's probably not ideal to work under with power running through it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Maybe I will unplug that though. And then we'll take this one and we will do that. And then if we plug this in again, and we look up under here, I believe that is a solar charge light going on. Which, I better get under here and look for myself. I can't read it, I have to take a photo, but I believe that is charging. So that is officially charging. So basically, I'm gonna put all this back together after I make this a proper connection. And it's not ideal that the black and the red are now opposites, but I think I'm gonna put some identifying tape on there just so I don't confuse myself or someone else in the future. But I now have functioning solar panels. So I'm gonna button this up, and that's pretty much that. Okay, so my side is all buttoned up there. And we got this here. I got a little flag on here so I know which end to plug in here. Although I do not know if it matters. So we got that plugged in. And I just have to assume that it's charging because I have no outside indicator. And then we come over here. And we got 25 feet of line. So I can basically put my panels out wherever there is sun within 25 feet of my van. And then alternatively, I'm gonna pick these bad boys up. I'm gonna come back over to the van. down. And we can take these and we can and basically I just take these. And we can even obviously that's not perfect, but if I was running more permanently, I would do that, but this will be fine. My doors don't fit that tight anyways. And then I can plug them in there. So I have a semi-permanent, so if I'm at the beach, camping or whatever, I can have these on my hood. But like now, they're in the shade. I can move them out to the yard, on the side, behind, wherever there's sun. So I think that's a pretty good solution. So I got 60 watts of removable solar on my van now. And that's that. That's the end of this episode. Peace.